SCHNABEL, Parker, the only thing that can preserve mining season, which is already in danger, is some really heavy to be transporting power. 4 exhausting months have been filled with constant difficulties, such as moving paste soil across great distances and having trouble positioning wash plants. The boundaries of Parker's operation at Dominion Creek have been reached. Although there is gold, it is not quite enough to meet his lofty goals. And despite aiming for 1,000 ounces of gold every week, his output figures have been persistently dismal week after week. Parker decided that something needed to change quickly, so he called in the big guns. He arrived with 60 rock trucks, which are incredible machines on wheels that can move up to 600 yards of dirt per hour, nearly twice as much as typical mining trucks. This means that more dirt will be moved, more gold will be processed, and there will be a better chance of hitting those targets. However, there's a catch. The equipment is severely strained when these enormous machines are used continuously. The entire operation comes to a complete stop if one of them malfunctions, and as there are no backup trucks available, there is no margin for error at the long cut. The group is pressed for time. Transporting pay dirt from the men downstream in order to maintain output. We only have 2 wash plants operating this week, which is unfortunate because I'm getting used to having 3 plants operating and doing a lot of nice, large cleanups. The gold count varies from week to week, and Mitch is committed to getting a good cleanup, but Parker is dealing with another issue. He's operating these trucks at full capacity. Although Parker has never been one to play it safe when pushing, his father has always cautioned him against overloading trucks over the manufacturer's limit. Because the truck is tougher, more dirt must be moved, and more dirt equals a chance to reach the 1,000-ounce target. Parker had initially hoped for a huge 10,000-ounce season, but as expectations and realities have changed, he now hopes for at least 8,000. Will these rock trucks be the game of changers as time runs out and there is no space for mechanical failures? As if things couldn't get any worse, Parker has yet another significant setback this week. Only 2 of Parker's 3 wash plants are currently in operation. The third, which had been functioning at Sulphur Creek, has entirely shut down due to a lack of paid dirt and is out of commission, with a small team and several issues piling up. Parker is forced to focus more on Dominion Creek, including the notoriously difficult long cut. Although it's dangerous, unpredictable, and hasn't been providing him with the gold he needs, it's now his only way to manage the long cut. With the stakes higher than ever, the pressure is on not only the experienced crew but also the rookies. "We are moving as quickly as we can, Mia, and the boys are flying today," is Mitch Blassa, who has been battling difficult circumstances throughout the season. The gold yield from this cut has been far from impressive, but Parker has faith in Mitch to persevere. James, a greenhorn miner 22, is one of those rookies who is operating a huge 60 rock truck for the first time. It's a large responsibility, but James is ready to show himself. He understands that every hallway matters, and for him, this is an opportunity to develop, learn, and be a part of something greater than simply a job. However, there is a problem when the truck's control panel suddenly sounds an alarm. There's a problem. James, not knowing what was going on, radioed Mitch for assistance already. Managing a significant workload, Mitch is not happy about yet another issue. However, he promptly instructs James to pull the truck to the side. James is the only one who cannot. The dashboard displays several fault codes. This is more than a small error. It's not good. Very poor. When the crew quickly arrives to assess the damage, they discover nothing less than catastrophic. The brake lines and hydraulic hoses that raise the truck's dump box are among the vital components that have been cut off when the companion flange that connects the drag shaft to the rear wheels broke. To exacerbate the situation, the truck is still transporting 60 tons of paid dirt and is totally immobilized. Every second is wasted by Mitch and the crew. Another obstacle they cannot afford before the truck is towed for repairs is that it is still stuck. It is necessary to dump the enormous quantity of paid dirt. In order to recover control of the dump box, Taylor and the mechanical team take on that task and start repairing the damaged hydraulic lines right away. They won't even consider bringing it to the yard for comprehensive repairs until it is empty. When Taylor examines the damage, he identifies a more serious problem. Rarely does a drive line break by itself when it snaps. To restore it to operating condition, a lot of work needs to be done. This device is unsafe to operate and will be unavailable for a while. The ripple effect frequently results in serious collateral damage, and there is no exception in this instance. The group prepares for a taxing repair procedure, although they are aware that time is acting against them. Out of commission trucks, Parker's entire business comes to a complete halt due to a transportation bottleneck, which means that even with purchased dirt ready, they couldn't move it quickly enough. The sole practical choice, Parker makes the difficult decision to temporarily close the wash plant. It's a terrible choice. The loss of 300 tons of paid dirt every hour directly affected their gold yield and dealt a serious blow to an already tense season where everything was on the line. The repairs' urgency increases dramatically. The crew knows that one mistake may make the situation worse, so they work as quickly as they can to dump the remaining dirt. A team member gives a grave warning. If they do this incorrectly, the material's weight may fluctuate erratically, resulting in a fatal collapse. Everyone is aware that this surgery is extremely risky. However, the tension doesn't end there. Desperate to get things going again, Mitch encourages the group to work more quickly. The additional strain only makes things worse, and eventually a mechanic loses it and snaps out at Mitch, saying, "If you want it done faster, grab some tools and help." The situation is getting out of control, and they don't have time for debates. Every second lost puts them one step closer to their objective. Taylor and his group continue to put forth endless effort to replace the trucks' faulty systems. The stakes are quite high, and will they be able to fix it in time to save the season? Those 60-ton tracks had a significant influence on the mine site. Time is running out. Therefore, if we don't fix them and keep them operating, things might quickly grind to a halt when one of those goes down for whatever foolish little issue has been plaguing them. Taylor and his colleagues act quickly and methodically without any time to spare. Complete precision is needed at every stage of the repair, including installing new electrical wiring and brake lines. They can be dealing with even more mechanical failures if they make one mistake. After everything is set up, they carefully align the new drive shaft by positioning it. Any little deviation could jeopardize the system as a whole. As the group painstakingly fastens the bolts, the crucial moment arrives. Verifying their work again to ensure the truck is roadworthy, Taylor is the last indication that the vehicle is prepared to move. Mitch was at last able to exhale in relief right away. Signals to restart hauling operations once the vehicle is operational again within 6 hours following the breakdown. There is no time to waste. The work is moving forward as the 60 truck transports paid dirt to the facility once more. Mitch expresses gratitude for Taylor's prompt and knowledgeable work and recognizes the importance of the mechanic's abilities in averting a complete shutdown. Parker, however, is wise enough not to rejoice too quickly. This technical malfunction served as a sobering reminder of how precarious their entire business is. Even though the crisis has been avoided, they could not be as fortunate if it occurs again, because it only took one damaged vehicle to bring everything to a stop. The crew gains momentum as the wash plant roars back to life. However, Parker and his team are constantly on high alert as they work toward their ambitious 8,000-ounce gold target. Every piece of equipment is a lifeline. Additionally, in a season as unpredictable as this one, the next catastrophe might occur at any moment. However, despite a tough week full of expensive equipment failures and a dismal weigh-in, Parker SCHNABEL refuses to let setbacks define his season. He understands there is no space for uncertainty because every ounce of gold is crucial. The crew had hoped to hit triple digits for the week after extensively searching the gold room, but the outcome, while respectable, wasn't enough to balance the operational losses. Time is running out, so the team needs to turn things around quickly. Once more, the numbers had declined. Parker was unable to afford Mark's decline. Now that the season is halfway through, they have recovered slightly more than 4,175. He is still far from reaching his previous lofty 8,000-ounce goal. Parker collected the gold and emphasized the gravity of their predicament before returning to supervise activities. There was no space for error because the message was crystal clear. Every member of the team was aware that the next few weeks would be crucial to saving the season, and with pressure increasing and little time remaining, Parker and his team had no option but to exert more effort than